Alright guys, so I just recently got to know about this thing called the GRE diagnosis. So basically what it is actually a breakdown of all of the questions, all of the 20 questions per section. It's going to show you how many questions you did right, where you went wrong, which question you did correctly, which question you did wrong. You need to know all of that. That's what I'm here for. You can check mine, and you can basically take it as a reference and basically help. I think this video will be very very helpful for some people who are worried about verbal, because I actually just recently saw that I did like 10 questions incorrectly on the verbal section and I still managed to score a 161. I think that's a big deal for most people. So at least most people from around here in India. So you should really check this out. I think it would be very very helpful for you. So the first thing is that if you do not know where to actually get your diagnostic report, just log into your GRE center or whatever it's called. Basically, my GRE home, they will have a link for this GRE diagnostic service on the main page. As soon as you log in, you can click that link and you can come in here and you can basically just click the registration number. Right? If I could just go back and show you, I would love to, but actually my laptop is kind of giving me a little bit of trouble. Funny story, I actually kind of left my charger in the metro, so I'm using some other charger, and the performance is kind of like gone down because of that, for now at least. So anyway, this was my quantitative section. I think first it would be good if you can just check out my quantitative section, how many questions I did wrong, and I still managed to score a 168 on it, right? So let's take a look at this together. And my laptop is hanging. Okay. All right. So basically, this is my first section, like the number of questions I did right, the number of questions I did wrong. On the first section, you can see here that I basically had all of the questions correct in my first section. So again, the first 5 arithmetic questions, all right. Their difficulty level is shown. You can see the amount of time I spent on each question. It's very very variable, I would say, but approximately I think I would have to go with like 1.5 minutes or so. So all of the questions are correct in the first section. Okay. Now let's look at the second section. This was like, actually I got my what you call your experimental section. In my case, it was a quantitative section. So like they're not showing the results of that section. Maybe it would have gone better. I don't know. But this is the section that they chose to score me on. So this is the second one. Here I got the fifth question incorrect. So like they've shown it's wrong. The difficulty was 5, and the time I spent on it again shown. So I probably thought that it was an easy question, just underestimated it and just marked it and never really checked it back. Probably because of the time spent, I can tell. All right. So again, after that, I got this geometry question. Second one, I got it incorrect as well. So again, because I only spent 47 seconds on it, and this was like pretty hard, I think I might have made a silly mistake, which I usually used to. So again, all of the other questions are no. Actually, there's one more incorrect. So like I got 3 incorrect and 2 questions. Sorry, 2 marks deducted. So why was that? Because as I kind of showed in one of my previous videos, how the GRE marking system works, you need to know that. So it's basically because first section I got all of them correct. This was very hard. Like this section was very hard. Like the questions I got wrong were basically either at least 4 difficulty, 4 level of difficulty. So this one also, and the last one also. Like difficulty levels of the questions I got wrong were 5, 4, and 5 respectively. So they chose to deduct 2 marks, even though I basically, did 3 questions incorrect. All right. So this was my math section again. I hope it helps you. I hope it helps you know that you can still make 1 mistake or so and still get 170 at times, even 2 if you get a really hard paper. But that's really how it's going to work. Now let's move on to my verbal section, and let's take a look at my first section. All right, this is my first section. You can take a look at all of the questions or the difficulty levels, how much time I spent per question. Again, this was the longer passage, so the first question also has the time I took for reading this passage, right? So one more thing I would like to point out here is I used to be very bad at reading, and I used to get like very many questions incorrect in my reading section. So, but you don't have to do that. If you do want me to make a video on the reading section, I can, because in the last 15 days or so, I kind of elevated my level of reading to that level that I wasn't really making mistakes anymore. So I barely made any mistakes on the reading section. Out of 20 questions on the reading section, like when I would just practice from the Manhattan 5 pound book, even I would get like three wrong at max, like from out of those 20 questions. So and the GRE was really very relatively easier, especially the first section. So I'm getting all of these correct. Again, reading comprehension, all of these correct. Text completion, I got one question wrong. The difficulty was, I think, pretty hard, so that's why maybe. And again, sentence equivalence, I got one question wrong. So in the whole section, I got two questions wrong on the first 20 questions. Now this might be huge for some people, but trust me, the GRE was really easy as compared to some books that I prepared from that were like Manhattan 5 pound book. Like that really helped me out because the level of the exam was really low for me. So I was able to do the first section really well. But again, because I did those books, so I was able to cope up with the second section, which was probably the hardest section of verbal I had faced. So again, you can see that I'm basically doing one question wrong over here in the reading comprehension. All right, shorter passage, I'm doing four questions wrong over here on the shorter passage. Okay, that's a total of five questions till now. In the text completions, I've done three questions wrong again, so that's eight questions. And over here, I've done two more wrong. So I've basically done 10 questions incorrectly, but they're still giving me 161 marks. I've actually, but if you take a look at it from like a different perspective, this was like the really hard section. On the first section, which was kind of like the medium section, I scored 18 out of 20. So that's a really good score. I probably scored like, almost full marks over there. And over here, because even though my performance degraded, but because this was like a really hard section and the scale nature of the test, they are only deducting 9 marks, right? So I actually kind of, thought I would have done much better, but this is how it is in my case. So even when I, you know, messed up, I was able to score a 161. So again, this was just a short, quick video. I'm trying to keep my videos short because I've been getting kind of, reviews that I'm actually making them longer than they should be. So I basically try to fit in everything, but just so I don't get some things out of my head. But there's nothing in this video of that sort, so that's fine. If there's anything that you would like me to post with this video or anything that you would like to have around this, even related to this, not related to this, like anything you want me to make a video on, do comment in the comment section below, and I would definitely make sure that the video is up and running within 24 hours. All right. So I'm gonna be making a lot of videos around these things, like your SOPs, LORs, and everything. Your even some of the campus interviews, and like things like the GRE again. So if you do think that you are interested in these, I really highly recommend that you subscribe and keep watching these videos, because I'm basically giving it to you plain and simple. I'm not really doing it as the consultants do, because I've never really personally been to a consultancy, or I've never really even taken a coaching, right? So this is plain and simple from just a person who's actually done it all by himself without the help of any coaching. So I think most of you should be interested in that. And again, if you do like the video, please do consider subscribing, and I'm going to see you next time, all right?